I just don't think the Premier thing is the end of the world, based on how bad the injuries were. I just don't think it's as bad.
My problem is that he didn't switch up time.
Isn't relegation worse than being mid-table?
What? Yeah, but when you were a top 6 team and you
Okay, but isn't being one step to a final of a big cup better than being eliminated?
Right now, you look like you're a fluke of a team because you're about to go to the final and you're almost
a fluke of a team.
You're on borderline relegation if Ipswich didn't lose. They didn't do anything to get themselves out of it.
But also, okay, can Tottenham win the Europa League tournament once as long?
I did not say that.
What the hell? He told it to me before recording. He said, absolutely not. They will not win. Why'd you say that about the team we love so much? Why would you say such a thing? I didn't say that.
I said it would be hard, though.
I think there's a possibility. Nothing's for certain, obviously. I can't just say 100% certain I think they're going to win. I want them to. In my hearts, I want them to win. But it's going to be hard because even though we are 2 steps away from the final, we don't know who's going to be at the final, but our step to get to the final should be in the bag. But with this team, you just never know. So I just don't want to say that.
Well, I mean, they're playing in Bodo.
Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt, and it is the highest part of Norway. Like, even their own teams hate playing up there.
Yeah. Okay, so then, do you think that they can win? Do you think that they can win?
I think they could win. I think if you hold them off to a draw in their home, because it's supposed to be really cold right now, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I saw it was like minus something.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hold them off, right? Chill.
Hold them off. Chill.
Like, literally chill. And then bring them back home and beat their ass. Because I don't think you're going to win up there. I put that on any team. It's really hard up there.
What is it like playing in the cold?
You can't breathe.
You can't breathe. It's just...
I don't give a shit how much you warm up, dude. That thing hurts. Imagine getting kicked. Oh, my God.
And then you got to play 90-something minutes. What do you think the final could look like on the other side?
I think Man United will get through, but only because Nico Williams is injured.
Good.
He's their star.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not going to play there next year is what I'm saying. Like
right.
He's going to get bought out by somebody. Everybody wants him actually.
So that gives Manchester United the edge.
It helps them.
Right.
Right? They're running on a high too of winning.
Okay.
If we could stay healthy, it's a strong possibility that we could win. And we play like the team that we've seen glimpses of.
Right.
But there's also that whole, like, Spurs are allergic to silverware and whatever.
All right. Based on this last game, the Frankfurt game, it felt like it was a different team. They looked a lot more stable, organized.
Mm-hmm.
They changed their formation. They changed the lineup at the end to hold off the game. It was a different type of managing that he's not known for. Now I'm gonna give you a theory.
Okay. All right.
Because I want to talk about also what Ange's situation is, because them winning the Europa, I think, hinges on him staying or leaving, and a lot of people have been Ange out. You've been Ange out.
I've been Ange out like a week ago.
Right.
Because of Wolves.
But now you're Ange in.
No, why? No, I said it, and I've even said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
If he wins the Europa, he stays.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes us better next year.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But he stays.
Okay. A lot of coaching and a lot of the professional game in all sports has a lot to do with how the perception is of your team versus your opponents. So, for example, Pep is very well known to do this. Arteta is also too. They will not tell you who's hurt on their team. They will not tell you who's hurt on the team because they don't want the other team to know who's playing or not, right? It's a tactical thing, right? There's a lot of 4D chess that happens at the upper echelons of professional sports. And a couple weeks ago, we knew that someone at Spurs was leaking out confidential stuff. My whole thing is, what I think, is that someone like Ange is always going to say out front in the media, we're going to play like this, we're never going to stop. We're going to play like this, we're never going to stop. So every team that comes up against him has this perception of him, but then the second he changes up what they do, the teams can't handle it.
But that's where you're wrong.
Okay.
See, this literally is he doesn't change tactics. That's the whole problem.
But the Frankfurt thing, he did.
Oh, yeah. 50 games later. What are you talking about?
So I think he changes it when it counts.
He's never changed it besides this one game.
I don't know. There's some. I just don't know what the inside talk is with the team. Like, what is he saying?
He hasn't changed anything. I don't understand where you're going with this. He changed 3 players. He didn't change tactics.
Yeah.
Those are subs. That's not tactically changing anything.
Okay, so look, the Spurs are going to play soon. We're recording this before the next game against Nottingham. Okay?
Yeah.
In the article, it's talking about today, actually. If Tottenham Hotspur walk out with mostly like not a strong team because they're gearing up for
Frankfurt
for Europa,
Bodo.
And they lose, what does that look like for Ange? Like, what is all this looking like for him? How he's doing in the Premier League, even though technically we're not mathematically out of the relegation, I don't think, but we're also. Oh, see, look, with Ipswich losing to Woolwich Wanderers, we're officially staying up and having won a relegation battle. So not being kicked out of the Premier League, even though having a really bad year, but then possibly winning the Europa Cup, where the hell does he stand? You see what I'm saying? Like, what do you do, and how do you... The Premier League is a wash. Like, just call it for what it is. There's nothing that's going to be... that's going to change because you do one spot. You're one up, one down. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
Look,
Europa, though, you can qualify for the champions if you win the Europa League.
So, okay, I'm on board with you that we can't keep switching out a manager every year.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not the way that works. You got to let his time develop.
Yeah.
If he wins the Europa, keep him in. Maybe he can adapt. Maybe he needs the summer to buy other players.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not fully content with what he has. But if he doesn't, he ends up 16th in the Premier League.
Yeah, we're currently at 16th.
Okay, we end up 16th at the end of the day, right?
Uh-huh.
We get eliminated from every cup that we were in. Like,
yeah,
that's what he could have stayed 6th or 7th, made it to this Europa, even get eliminated against Bodo, and I would have said keep him in. The team's going in the right direction.
Sure.
He went lower on the league, but then got to a cup final. You know what I mean? That's not. And we're talking out of our ass. What if we get eliminated against Bodo?
Yeah.
Are you still okay with him staying?
No.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking.
I think if he loses to Bodo, like, he's gonna have to go. I would want him to stay.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
Why?
Because I think
this is based on results.
I think where everyone forgets how bad the season was, and I don't know why everyone just tends to forget how bad our season was with injuries and everything. And that shit's crazy.
And you have to change tactics.
But if you have a team,
if you have a full team that's injured, your B team isn't going to do the same as your A team. Why the hell are you not going to change tactics?
I think you want your B team to be just as good as your A team.
But then they wouldn't be a B team.
I think it's all psychological, man. I don't... Okay, so you're saying...
It doesn't make sense. Then every player can play any position and there wouldn't be stars and the market wouldn't make sense because your bench could play as good as De Bruyne or Messi or Cristiano. It doesn't make sense what you're saying.
I think within context we have to... okay, look. Here, I'm going to bring out another stat for you. The current state of the club. This is a post. Not sure why everyone wants Postecoglou out. If we gain 2 points, we just went from 16th to 13th to put us back to our historic norm for being a mid-table team.
Historic, but in the past 5-6 years, we've been top 6.
Yeah. I just don't think the Premier thing is the end of the world. based on how bad how bad the injuries were. I just don't think it's as bad.
My problem is that he didn't switch up tactics.
Isn't relegation worse than being mid-table?
Right? Yeah, but when you were a top 6 team and you
Okay, but isn't being one step to a final of a big cup better than being eliminated?
Right
from
now,
it?
you look like you're a fluke of a team because you're about to go to the final and you're almost
a fluke of a team.
You're on borderline relegation if Ipswich didn't lose. They didn't do anything to get themselves out of it.
But also, okay, but we're also not at the end of the season. We don't know when what position they're going to finish.
What do you feel about today's game?
I feel like I don't really care. I don't care. I'd rather.
We don't know. Do they win or lose?
I don't care.
Would you be surprised if they win?
I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
Yeah, you would.
I'd be surprised if they win.
Why wouldn't you? Nottingham's doing great this season.
Then all right. Now I'll switch it up to you. If they win against Nottingham, then what are Spurs in? Are they getting better?
I mean, they have a full squad.
I'm telling you now. Answer the question.
They're getting better.
If they beat Nottingham today,
this is great motivation to going into the Euro, going into finishing off strong this season. Okay. It's fantastic.
All right. So I don't understand why I still Ange out then until the end of the season.
Because he hasn't done it. We're talking about hypotheticals.
Oh my God.
Do I believe that he could do that? No. That's where it lies.
You don't believe that he
I don't think we're winning today. We got Liverpool next week. You think you're going to beat Liverpool?
No.
Liverpool just need one game to win the Premier League game, and we're it next week.
Yeah. What I saw is that us losing purposely to make sure that Arsenal don't win the dude, I think Tottenham has a real weird, toxic, like we're losers mentality.
I mean, because we are losers.
No, but that's not how I feel. I feel like you have to go through this tough drought to get out of it. You have to go through it. You have to. I feel like we're going to be... Dude, I really honestly believe in my heart that we will... Going through this really tough moment is going to make this team leap light years ahead.
Keeping Ange?
Going through it and keeping Ange.
Look, here's another problem.
Yeah.
You're doing so bad in the league, you're going to get poached this summer with all your players.
Yeah. So
this team, I don't believe, is going to be the same team.
Yeah.
So,
but
that's the consequences of doing bad when you have good players.
We're gonna finish this off. And then I'll leave that to you for your final thoughts. I believe a coach isn't truly done until the locker room loses it with him, and the locker room hasn't. I'm gonna put footage up of when they won against Frankfurt. The way the whole team reacted.
Put it up. I want to see this because you're talking papas.
All right, see, this is just one of the videos and stuff. There's others. They're really happy. Everyone's hugging, everyone's cheering. They went, to the fan section to kind of celebrate. This really meant a lot to the team.
No, you know what? I do agree with you in that until he loses the locker room, that's when he should leave.
Yeah. I believe. I think for any team, for me. I think that's when.
I'm only saying the Ange out because if we were to get eliminated, and this will be my final thought.
Yeah.
Right. If we were to get eliminated and we place the place we are in Premier League, and he leaves, 9 times out of 10, we lose Romero. We're probably going to lose Udogie.
Yeah.
We're going to lose Bentancur. Kulusevski, Porro, Mickey might. They're saying there's rumors of Liverpool.
Yeah,
we lose such a catalyst of players wanting to be on our team.
Yeah,
that having Ange in but losing all those players.
Yeah,
you might as well just start as a rebuild.
Right,
is what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why I say Ange out.
Yeah,
if that were to happen.
So you're saying. Let me get this straight. If they do, they place mid-table Premier League, they win the Europa, but everyone leaves, Ange out?
No, if they win the Europa, you keep a lot of the players. You're more inclined, and those players are more inclined to not leave
because they want to win.
Because they believe in the project, right? Right? They also have a say.
So you're saying it really does all hinge on the Europa League?
It does, yeah. And I'm not saying that just for him to keep his job. It also means to keep the team intact. You're not going to want next year. Romero, what does he want to do? He wants to win. Okay, so I'm going to go to a winning team. There's nothing wrong in wanting to go to winning teams.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're overstacking teams, but if a Real Madrid want Romero, he's going to go. Bentancur, Atletico want him, probably going to go. Udogie go to Man City. Okay, they're going to be playing Champions League. They're going to be competing for cups. You lose Europa, you don't and you're not in position to play Europa next year even, right?
Right.
So you know Champions, no Europa, just probably FA. Is that enticing to you as a player? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Ange out would be because we're probably going to lose a lot of players and we'll probably have to rebuild with the new manager.
Okay. Well, those are the final thoughts on that. I'm Ange in.
I'm Ange if he wins.
I'm Ange if he wins.
I'm real. Bye, everybody.
Right.
Suck it.
All right. It's hot in there.